Right now, someone somewhere is about to speak in front of a room. Their heart is already pounding before they say a single word. We call this stage fright, glossophobia, just nerves. But your body isn't reacting to presentation. It's reacting like your life depends on the next 60 seconds. And for most of human history, it actually did. For 300,000 years, humans lived in small bands of 30 to 50 people. There was no police, no hospitals, no safety net. The group was the only thing keeping you alive. If the group turned against you, you didn't just lose friends. You lost food, protection, and any chance of surviving winter. Exclusion wasn't a social inconvenience, it was a death sentence. In 2003, neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger ran an experiment at UCLA. She had volunteers play a simple ball-tossing game inside a brain scanner. Then the game secretly excluded one player. The ball stopped coming to them. Eisenberger found something nobody expected. The excluded player's brain lit up in the same region as physical pain. Social rejection and a broken bone activate the same circuit. Your brain does not distinguish being laughed at from being physically hurt. But this was only the surface. Because standing in front of a group isn't just risky, it's exposed. Every eye on you is a potential vote against your place in the tribe. In 1993, psychologist Clemens Kirschbaum designed a test in Trier, Germany. He asked volunteers to give a short speech in front of silent, unsmiling judges. No feedback, no nodding, no encouragement, just cold, blank faces. This became known as the Trier social stress test. Within minutes, cortisol levels in the speakers spiked dramatically. Heart rate rose, hands trembled. Some speakers' voices audibly shook. The blank faces alone were enough to trigger a genuine stress response. Kirschbaum's test has now been repeated in labs across the world. Every time, the result is the same: judgment spikes stress faster than danger. A room full of silent strangers can trigger the same alarm as a predator. But why would judgment feel as dangerous as an actual attack? Because for early humans, judgment often came before danger, not instead of it. If the group decided you were weak, lazy, or untrustworthy, they acted on it. Anthropologists studying hunter-gatherer groups have documented exactly this pattern. Chronic complainers, poor hunters, or dishonest members were quietly cut off from resources. Not through violence, through silence, smaller shares, fewer invitations. Slow exclusion killed just as effectively as a lion did. So, evolution built an alarm system tuned to catch the earliest signs of it. Psychologists Mark Leary and Roy Baumeister called this the sociometer. A built-in gauge constantly measuring how accepted you are by the people around you. When the needle drops, you feel it instantly as anxiety, dread, a racing heart. Public speaking drops that needle faster than almost anything else. Because for one moment, every single person in the room is judging you at once. Your ancestors never had to face 50 judgments in 60 seconds. Their alarm system was built for one bad glance, not 100 at once. So when you step on stage, that ancient alarm overloads completely. This is why your hands shake even when nothing physical threatens you. This is why your voice cracks even though no one can actually hurt you. Your body isn't malfunctioning, it's running software that is 300,000 years old. But here's what nobody tells you about that software. In small ancestral groups, everyone already knew you. Your reputation had years to build. One bad moment couldn't erase it. Today, you often speak to strangers you will never see again. The stakes your body feels are ancient, but the actual stakes are not. This mismatch has a name. Evolutionary psychologists call it a mismatch of environment. Your alarm system still thinks exclusion means starvation. In reality, a shaky presentation rarely costs you food, shelter, or your life. But try telling that to your nervous system in the moment. Because the sociometer doesn't check facts, it checks feelings. And judgment, even imagined judgment, feels exactly like danger to your body. This is why rehearsing content alone rarely fixes stage fright. You can master every word and still feel your throat tighten. Because the fear was never really about the words. It was always about the eyes watching you say them. Researchers have found a strange detail that confirms this. Speakers report less anxiety facing a large anonymous crowd than a handful of familiar faces. Strangers can't judge your reputation, people who know you can. Your ancient alarm cares less about numbers and more about consequences. This explains why speaking to your own team can feel scarier than a stadium. The 5 people you see every day hold your actual social standing. A stadium full of strangers holds nothing but noise. So the fear was never really irrational. It was accurate, just calibrated for a world that no longer exists. Here is the part that changes how you should treat that fear. Trying to eliminate stage fright completely is fighting 300,000 years of programming. That fight rarely works, and it usually makes the fear louder. But you can work with the alarm instead of silencing it. Psychologist Alison Wood Brooks found something simple but powerful in 2014. She had speakers say one phrase before going on stage. I am excited. Not I am calm, not I am fine, specifically, I am excited. Speakers who reframed their fear as excitement performed measurably better. Their heart still raced, their hands still trembled, but their brains interpreted it differently. The physical alarm didn't disappear, its meaning simply changed. Because excitement and fear are almost the same physical state. The only real difference is the story your mind tells about the feeling. Your ancestors couldn't reframe a lion into excitement, and they shouldn't have. But you are not facing a lion, you are facing an audience. The alarm firing in your chest is proof that your ancestors survived long enough to give you this exact reaction. Every racing heartbeat before you speak is 300,000 years of ancestors saying, pay attention, this matters. You were never broken for feeling this way before speaking. You are running the oldest survival system your species ever built. And the next time your heart pounds before you speak, you'll know exactly why. It was never fear of failing. It was the echo of a world where standing alone meant dying alone.